Let's talk all the last minute rumors and news for WrestleMania Backlash alongside other pro wrestling news from this past week. This is Restaurant bringing you all the latest in pro wrestling, so make sure to have those notifications turned on to always be up to date, and let's get right into it. Before we get into some WrestleMania Backlash, let's talk some quick and latest news. The brand split continued to be a hot topic of discussion as of late because it looks like WWE is going to continue it, but at the same time, they do have a bunch of talent going from Raw to SmackDown, SmackDown to Raw on a weekly basis. And it looks like the Fox network is not necessarily too happy about this, as the report once again indicate that they want exclusivity on WWE talent. Now, as we know, we are going to be getting a 6-man tag team matchup at WrestleMania Backlash, but according to the latest reports, that was always the plan. Even though WWE changed it to that last minute, they were never going to unify the Raw and the SmackDown tag team titles on the show. They basically lied to us and built that up for 3.5 weeks. Until then, they made the change. The Observer indicated that while fans may see Raw and SmackDown wrestlers appearing on opposite shows from time to time following WrestleMania Backlash, Fox doesn't really want that. Both networks kinda want unique roster. This is just once again emphasizing that they are going to continue the brand split. We even got reports early on this week indicating that they are already talking about the WWE draft happening later this year. It is still possible that they might unify the tag team titles, but clearly it's not happening on Backlash. And let's talk more latest reports in regards to the actual show. For the Kodi Roach versus Seth Rollins matchup, which at this point might as well just be the main event of the show, and it is on top of the card right now, primarily being advertised over all of the other matches. Unlikely to close up the show, but there's of course a lot of stock on this matchup. Kodi Roach is favored to win right now, and with the next pay-per-view being the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, there's of course a lot of speculation that Kodi could be the one to walk out with the briefcase. He has to get to Roman Reigns some way, somehow, right? Because he mentions wanting the WWE title every single week, so surely they're gonna continue to build up, and Kodi needs to keep winning. For the SmackDown Women's Championship matchup, Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey in the I Quit match. Report over the last 2 weeks have been that Ronda Rousey is set to win this matchup. WWE wanted to extend this feud, so they gave the victory to Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. And as the Wrestling Observer Radio indicated, there's almost no way that they are going to book Ronda Rousey saying I quit. So do expect her to walk out with the title. It will sort of be like having Brock Lesnar say I quit, because even though the feud hasn't been that great, and even though Ronda Rousey's mic skill is definitely not the best, they are still booking her as the most legit competitor that they have in the women's division. Now, we talked the latest in regards to the Bloodline taking on RK McBro. That matchup was apparently the plan all along. WWE was lying about unifying the title, but one thing that has been said heading into this pay-per-view is that Roman Reigns is set to be in the main event. This is the matchup that he is in, so this is likely to main event the show, even though it's not for any titles. Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair is the only title match that we have on this pay-per-view, and that's not even main eventing, which is kind of crazy. But all of this is not really a surprise. Roman Reigns is obviously on top, so unless something else crazy or shocking is gonna happen, they're just gonna end with the Roman match. AJ Styles versus Edge, of course, with Damian Priest being barred from ringside. Most of the speculations and the rumors do indicate that they are going to be introducing another member of Edge faction. Rhea Ripley has of course been rumored to be joining Edge faction at some point, but this next edition is probably going to be a male superstar, and knowing how WWE does things, I will not be shocked if it's Finn Balor. He recently lost the title. He just did it too sweet with AJ Styles, which is very possible that they did that just to throw us off. I'm just saying they have done it in the past, so I wouldn't be surprised. Literally, WWE just doing WWE things to not give us what we want, which is AJ Styles and Finn Balor joining forces, which we have been wanting since AJ Styles joined WWE. Bobby Lashley versus Omas, with Bobby Lashley picking up a victory at WrestleMania and them trying to build up Omas now with MVP. It's very likely that Bobby Lashley is going to get screwed over in this match, and with the help of MVP, Omas will pick up the victory. Happy Corbin versus Madcap Moss, Plus, there's really nothing in regards to this matchup. It's happening, but there's no reports on it. There's no rumors on it, but it's happening, so we're watching it, I guess. The last bit of news in regards to Backlash is the reason up to why WWE ended up advertising Brock Lesnar to be at the show until basically 2 to 3 weeks ago when they decided to remove him of all the advertisement. And there seems to be a good reason for it. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, WWE falsely advertised Brock Lesnar for the event because they didn't want to make it obvious that Brock Lesnar was going to lose at WrestleMania. It is worth mentioning though that Brock Lesnar was being advertised for the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, but that could change. He is also heavily advertised for SummerSlam, which is the most likely return for him. So that is all the last minute rumors and news in regards to the WrestleMania Backlash pay-per-view. If you enjoyed or found it informative, don't forget to elbow drop it and turn on those notifications. Stay savage and I'll catch you on the next one.